What's going on with your gang? Today we got some bizarre prison escape attempts caught on camera. Ooh, it's one thing to try and escape prison, you feel me, and get caught by a cop or something. But it's another thing to get caught on camera escaping. You feel me? Oh shit, my motherfucking back. But yeah, that shit. How the fuck you niggas be escaping that motherfucker and then being on the run outside? How? Like, do motherfuckers really be like carving holes up in that bitch and crawling through the wall, like the walls and shit to the outside and then running and hopping the fence and some old shit? Man, I be seeing videos. My coworker, you feel me, did his thing. But he be showing me shit that really be going down up in there. And man, oh man, I feel so sorry for y'all boys up in there. That shit's so crazy, man. Oh man, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. Like motherfuckers really be getting like stabbed up in that bitch. Like, man, ooh wee. And they be, oh man, it be gruesome. It be gruesome. But we gonna see these convicted felons is attempt to escape prison, and some may escape prison but get caught. You feel me? But we're gonna leave it up to this motherfucker. You feel me? Let's get to it.
A veteran corrections officer apparently fell in love with an inmate and helped him escape with her so that the two of them could run off together.
5 real prison escape attempts
No
caught
way.
on camera. They say if you do the time, you do the crime, but none of these prisoners were ready to do that. Starting with Rocky
They say if you do the time, you do the crime. No, if you do the crime, you do the time. You said that shit so fucking ass backwards. You fucked up my brain cells. You fucked up my brain cells, bro.
Together.
5 real prison escape attempts caught on camera. They say if you do the time, you do the crime, but none of these prisoners were ready to do that. Starting with Rocky Marquez, whose escape plot worked so well, he pulled it off twice. Number 1, Rocky Delgado Marquez. Meet 34-year-old Rocky Marquez. He was charged with drug smuggling, perjury, and driving under the influence. He was supposed to be awaiting extradition from Wayne County Jail, Michigan to Phoenix, Arizona, when correction officers realized that Rocky was not behind bars. Prison footage showed that he had let himself out of prison 5 days earlier, right under their noses. On January 20th, 2013, Rocky switched ID wristbands with another inmate who was about to be freed after posting bail and strolled right out of the Detroit jail. That happened 5 days ago. As if that wasn't embarrassing enough for law enforcement, there was one more twist. Rocky had pulled this exact ID switch before, 8 months earlier. In May 2012, Rocky was behind bars in Arizona when he switched bands with an inmate scheduled for release and went on the lam for 8 long months. He was finally tracked down in Detroit, Michigan on January 15th and arrested.
Bro, how do they let that shit like really happen? Like, oh, I'm let you take this wristband back to your cell. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. I'm gonna let you take this wristband back to your cell. Don't lose it. Nigga, take it back to a cell. Get beat on. Boom, 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 boom. You better not tell nobody, nigga. I'll be back. Put that wristband on. He outside. Shit, getting Starbucks and shit. With your wristband. Now you serving some old time because you got beat on. They ain't gonna look at it as like, oh, you got it stolen from you. You got beat on, nigga. You gave it to that man. That's what they gonna think. And they get beat up in jail every day. That's what they gonna think. I couldn't be up in jail. Cause I just gave more time. I'm not gonna let nobody bitch me out, nigga. You gonna get poked. You gonna get poked all up and down them motherfucking hallways, boy. Yeah, I'ma have them bitches on deck too. I'ma have long motherfucking like talk. What? And I'm gonna have a steel pole like a bat, nigga. Oh my god, I really I really do niggas in with it tape a poker to the front of that bit. Oh my, I'll be a menace in that hoe. I already know niggas already did that shit. I already know. But hey, I'll be another menace in that hoe.
With a loaded AK-47 at his side. 6 days later, Rocky had broken out of that prison as well with a 5-day head start. But if Rocky was hoping for another long vacation, he had another thing coming. A month later, he was apprehended by U.S. Marshals in Mexico and taken back to Phoenix to face trial on his now much lengthier charges. In 2014, he pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to 18 years behind bars. The inmate who switched bands with him was also charged with assisting an inmate's escape. If you think Rock's escape was crazy, wait till you hear about how this prisoner's family pulled a fast one on a whole prison to get him out. Number 2, Derek Estelle. On the afternoon of the 28th of July 2013, 33-year-old Derek Estelle was making a phone call at the Garland County Jail in Hot Springs, Arkansas, under the watchful eyes of 2 police officers. Derek had been behind bars since March for stealing a truck and going on the run, which led to a standoff with SWAT. He'd been charged with aggravated robbery, breaking and entering, and burglary, among other things, and was now awaiting trial. That afternoon, the officers watching Derek make his call got distracted by an elderly man who needed help. In that instant, Derek dropped the phone and jumped across the counter by squeezing through a 2.5-foot wide 1-foot tall window. In seconds, he was through and made a break for the jail's door, running out into the parking lot and into the alleyway.
How do you take 20,000 children in the middle of New York City without anybody seeing? They are being put into
That
buses.
boy.
They are given
That
certain
boy
clothes.
shot. It big ass shot through that little ass glass, didn't he? Didn't he? That little motherfucker shoved through that big ass
Where
glass.
he climbed into a waiting car.
That little ass glass.
Derek
That man-
dropped the phone and jumped across the counter by squeezing through a
big
2.5-foot wide 1-foot tall window. In
His
seconds,
big
he was
ass,
through
damn.
and made a break for the jail's door, running out into the parking.
It was because of him they made them bitches smaller. Smaller. You can only go like this in them motherfuckers. You can only go like this in them motherfuckers.
Lot and into the alleyway, where he climbed into a waiting car. A deputy was right behind him, but by the time they made it to the lot, the car was pulling away. They did get a good look at the getaway driver, though. It was Derek's girlfriend, Tamara Upshaw. Minutes later, the car was found abandoned, but the two were long gone. Officers were convinced that this was a planned escape, and their first suspicion fell on the elderly man who distracted them from Derek. Turns out his name was William Harding, and he was the getaway driver's stepfather. William was arrested and taken into custody. After officers reviewed Derek's phone call, another arrest was made. This time, it was Derek's mother, Glenda Estelle. During the call, Glenda had asked her son if his shackles were off and is there 2 or 3 in there. Also, in the month leading up to the escape, they exchanged 40 calls full of random details about planning the escape. 3 weeks later, Derek was found at an abandoned home in Santa Rosa County, Florida, where he was living with his girlfriend. The lovebirds were arrested without incident. Derek pleaded guilty to second-degree escape and was sentenced to 40 years in prison, plus an additional 35 years for the original charges he was facing. But that wasn't the last.
Damn, that boy got life. Oh man, I think life is like 25, but he got an additional 35 on that motherfucker. He got 40. He got 40. Oh shit. That boy got life twice. That's crazy.
Last we'll hear of this wannabe Houdini. The following year, he attempted to escape the Bowie County Correctional Annex. But without Mummy's help, Derek climbed a fence, got caught in the razor wire, and was transported to the hospital. While those two families are cooling their heels behind bars, our next 2 prisoners are about to roll out of prison in the most shocking way. Number 3, Justin Stumler and Jeremy Hunt. Around 10 p.m. on the night of October 6, 2018, activities at the jail kitchen of of Louisville Metro Department of Corrections, Kentucky, were winding down. A couple of prison inmates who were working in the jail's kitchen wheeled food trash cans outside the facility for disposal like they do every night. It was a regular activity at the prison, so this night seemed like any other. That is, until two heads popped out of the trash bins and two men slipped out. They were Justin Stumler and Jeremy Hunt. Jeffersontown police had arrested Jeremy in June on several felony burglary charges. Justin was arrested in August on charges of motor vehicle theft, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, and felony drug possession. Both men were held at the minimum security facility and had met the requirements for work placement. The two men dashed behind a nearby dumpster and quickly stripped off their prison clothes. When they were done, one prisoner returned to the bins to get their clothes. Fully disguised, the two men calmly walked away from behind the dumpster, ready to join the outside world. But it all went downhill from there. If you'd like this channel to go uphill, make sure you subscribe down below right now. 2 days later, on Monday morning, Justin, clearly not the brain of the operation, went door to door looking for a good Samaritan who would let a fugitive whose face had been flashing all over the news hide in their apartment for some money. Unsurprisingly, he couldn't find anybody. What he did get, though, were lots of phone calls to the police telling them of his whereabouts. Justin was promptly arrested without incident. Just 5 hours later, a gas station employee reported that someone was using fraudulent credit cards at the station and provided the person's plate number. Multiple law enforcement agencies sprang into active pursuit when they realized the car had been stolen. At first, he pulled over when a police officer spotted him, but a short time later, peeled off, leading to a dramatic car chase across the Dixie Highway, ending in a 5-car pileup. The driver of the stolen car was identified as prison escapee Jeremy Hunt. He was bundled to a hospital to treat minor injuries along with 2 other drivers involved in the crash. 3 other inmates, Tajwan Burton, Gary Bradford, and Justin Rankin, were arrested and charged with 2 counts of facilitating escape for helping the men escape by concealing them in the trash cans and taking them outside. 4 prison employees were also placed on leave. Both inmates have been hit with escape charges. Jeremy faces additional charges for evading police in a vehicle, burglary, and driving with a suspended license, and got 5 years added to their original sentences. That escape had those 2 smelling like spoiled cheese. These next 3 had a much simpler plan, and you won't believe who they got to help them out. Number 4, Aaron Clark, Victor Apadasa, and Ricky Sena. On June 15th, 2018, 3 men, Aaron Clark, Victor
Ricky look happy as hell to be up in that motherfucker. He like, what up, dog? He like, what up, dog? Look at Ricky. Look, what up, dog?
and Ricky Sena. On June 15th, 2018, 3 men, Aaron Clark, Victor Abarasa, and Ricky Sena, inmates of the Curry County Detention Center, New Mexico, escaped the jail in mere minutes. Aaron was facing charges of possession of a firearm, attempted child and identity fraud, Ricky for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and auto theft, and Victor for trafficking and distribution of controlled substances, possession of a firearm, and receiving stolen property. The 3 men had come in from the jail's recreation area, approached the next door, and using a key, got past it in seconds and made their way down the hallway. Next, they were spotted walking briskly down the alley and to the parking lot. Their escape seemed so seamless that the sheriff released a statement that the men must have been working on the plan for months and months, but that was before new evidence came to light. The men had inside help. So what elaborate scheme had the 3 cooked up to get out of jail? It all came down to this woman, 28-year-old Serena Dodson. She was the jail guard working the control desk at the time. You can guess from her movements that she was nervous about something, and that something was a doozy. Serena essentially did all the work for them. She shut off alarms, gave them keys, unlocked doors, and even gave a false prison head count. All the men had to do was strip off their prison jumpsuits and walk away like distinguished gentlemen, while she stressed out. And all she got for her trouble were flowery words. But her troubles were just beginning. The next morning, Serena was arrested and charged, but the men were still at large. 5 days later, Curry County officials received a tip that the escapees were in an apartment not far from the jail. Curry County deputies and the Clovis Police SWAT team responded to the apartment, leading to a standoff.
Oh my! Shots fired! Shots fired!
3 hours later, the men surrendered peacefully and were taken into custody. They were charged with escape from jail and rebooked into the Curry County Detention Center, as well as the man they were living with. They each got sentenced to 30 years more for their daring escapades. Serena Dodson was sentenced to 9 years in prison for her part in the escape.
9?
The man on in town?
Damn, she was riding for them motherfuckers. That's crazy.
I've just been handed an urgent...
Hey, if you made it this far, like, comment, share, hit that sub button for your boy. We got more shit coming for you. I ain't gonna lie. Shit, my boy high as hell right now. But we're gonna beat our way through this shit. You feel me? Fall with me.